We're going to talk about some aspect about we talk about sinut for women. Now today's subject is mostly talking about sinut for men because many people, many men, Baruch Hashem, they learn Torah, but they don't realize that learning Torah it should be with Kedusha Tahara. Kedusha Tahara, that's very, very good, very important. So we're not like the Torah. Our Torah is not like a person goes to learn in the university and says, I learn the Chokhmah. I say, okay, I am Baki, and the person learns it. Is more into it. When you learn Torah, you have to absorb all the Torah and internalize it. And in order to do it, you have to have a Chachamim. They got certain things, and it's called, we have to do with Kedusha Tahara. Kedusha Tahara is a very important person to go to Mikvah, and also Taharat is to be able to be sanu. Some part of it is be sanua, and sanua for men is very different than women. One part of sanua, he says Moshe Rabbeinu, he was extremely sanua. They say why he was sanua because he says he was ha'ish Moshe anav me'od. He was extremely anav. So he says, why he says he was anav because Adam Asher al Pnei Hadamah. He was extremely anav more than anybody else in the face of the earth, right? So they say what was it? He says he was also sanua. Which means anava doesn't come just being the characteristic of being humble. In the Jewish religion, what counts also with being sanua. Okay, and it talks about. So here he says he gives some example. This book I really recommend to everybody to read this book. It's a very good book. This the author is Rabbi Sefer, and he's actually he's Persian. He's a Persian Jew that he wrote a long time ago. I had a Zuhud talk to him once before, many years ago. And it gives a lot of ma'amorim from different places, and really this is very highly recommended. And the good thing about this book is it also has a lot of pictures of the Tzaddikim, of what they were doing and everything, and brings out the stories from the past. And talks about, like for instance, here it talks about Shaul HaMelech. It gives different cases here for men. For men, why they became. What they did and why Hakodesh Baruch Hu loved these people. So this is one of the first king we had in the Jewish history was Shaul HaMelech, and they say why was Shaul was chosen among all other people in the nation. They say he was sanua and he was humble. So they say when they came into Shemuel Hanavi came to anoint him with the oil, he was hiding. He was running away from Serara, from becoming a leader. And they said when somebody is hiding, he come, Hakodesh Baruch Hu calls him to become a leader. Okay? And then he talks about when he became very upset at David HaMelech, he was running after him to kill him. And there's a pasuk, it says, V'omer lehorgecha, that says, the pasuk says that if somebody comes, wants to kill you, right? You have to. It says Haba lehorgecha, hashkem lehorgo. There's one pasuk about the Jewish people. They're going. I mean, anyway, you have from here we learn that we have to always like the situation we are here. We don't wait for if an enemy wants to attack the Jewish people, right? You do a preemptive attack.
Yes, you rise up and kill them first.
Yeah, and the you
from experience, right?
you don't wait and say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna have pity on him. Maybe he's gonna change his mind or those things. You don't worry about this thing. You just go and you do it. Pasuk. It says, but the pasuk says, "Haba lehorgecha, hashkem lehargo." If somebody wants to kill you, and you know definitely, right? When the person is Jewish, you go and kill him first. Because why? Because it's a mitzvah that it says one is nishmatin nefshetechem me'od. The person should one of the taryag mitzvot is the person should be very careful, right? That there's no harm that be done to him. There's no harm should be done to him. And it's one of the part, if you know that someone wants to kill you, you just go and kill the person, you do it preemptive. So here it says that when he saw that Shaul is coming to kill him, right? He knew he took an army, right? Shaul was Jewish king, right? And Shaul, David HaMelech realized that he wants to kill him. David said he took one of his main officers, Abishai. He went after him. He went after him to kill him. He knew where he is. He located him. And he knew where it is. He passed by the Shaul's main generals. He went through he pierced the camp. He went through and he was trying to find where he is and kill him and walk away. And then he saw that he wants to use the restroom, right? So he went after him. He saw the king, Shaul, keep changing, going to cheder lecheder, which means going from the one cave to another cave, until he went to some place very, very private. And then he was witnessing it. And when he was trying to use the restroom, he saw he was extremely sanua. Even when he was using when he was doing, he had to relieve himself, and he said to himself, this is what he says. כששראה דוד התפעל מאור ואמר לא הרגו לנגוע בגוף צנוע הזה. This is what he says. So then he saw that this man is so sanua, right? Which and about that he had, he was being humble and also sanua is a combination both for men, right? So he said, it's not proper for me to touch this body. Which means even Shaul wanted to kill him. He was going to kill him. He had a full intention. He went to the cave. He knew how to do it, to go after him, and he went all the way. And he was about to kill Shaul when he saw Shaul's son, even in the restroom, right? He stopped. So what protected him? Being sanua, even in the restroom. So from here we learn, like the thing that if a person in the restroom is so sanua, with the restroom, if you have chance, talking about Mikvah, that Aaron Rato talks about it, that how important it is the person shouldn't look at the other people's body, or look at the private part of the man, because it causes a lot of problem, right? So that's why I was trying to get, because unfortunately many even Hasidim that we have the Talmidei Baal Shem Tov, the Hasidim, all the groups of Hasidim that we have here, they learned Torah, they became his followers. So Baal Shem Tov for sure was not doing this. He wasn't walking around in the Mikvah. I'm sure of it. He was very sanua. He had the Hakodesh. And unfortunately, some people don't realize that just learning Torah is not enough. You have to do with the Kedusha Taharat. The Kedusha Taharat is for men, also being sanua, not just women. And we know there are a bunch of stories here. I'm going to tell you. I think that's why I was just talking about the sinut for men, because sinut for men also very important. I just was talking a while before we started. In the time of the Arizal, there was one rabbi, I think it was Rabbi Nekar, if I'm not mistaken. I hope that I didn't pronounce. I'm not making a mistake on saying his name. It says the story brought down that he was sitting on the Shabbat table and was singing Zemirot, and when he was singing Zemirot, the Malachim were all coming and listening to Zemirot because he was singing with such a passion and sincerity. And then he got very hot, it was summer, and he rolled up his sleeve. And then Arizal was his Tamar Arizal, I think it was Sefer. So Arizal told his Shamash to go and tell him that he should roll down his sleeve, because till the time that he was singing, right? As Sanua singing, and with the Sanua, right, there were Malachim there. Now they moved away, because he rolled up his sleeve to here. I don't know. So he told him he rolled it down, and they came back. So you see how important is the Sanua. And there's a other part that is a very famous story about the Hamelech that we sing it. We say that from there we learn that it's very important for a person on Simchat Torah. You have to dance according to Sephardim on Yom Tov. By Sephardim, you cannot clap on Yom Tov, right? On Simchat Torah, that's the only exception. And we can clap, right? Because of the happiness they have from this. And why the Chachamim Sephardim are making on this day is because the Maaseh of the Beit HaMikdash is here. That when he wanted to bring Aaron to Yerushalayim, right? He took it. There was some episode that happened, and finally he was able to. The Aaron was coming to Yerushalayim, so he started dancing with his whole might and singing and dancing up and down. And he had his daughter. His daughter was Michal. Michal was his daughter, daughter of Shaul HaMelech, and he was extremely. The Bible says Shaul was very sanua. Michal was also very sanua. Extremely sanua. So he saw from the window that Michal is dancing, and because the way he's dancing, when he was dancing, a part of his leg was showing. He goes up and down. So he came and says, you know what? He started mocking him. She started mocking him and said, what did you do? You dance, you're dancing and is completely against Torah. You are not Sunnah. What we do is dance. And he says the only reason I did it was for Hashem. He says I did it for Hashem. And here he says that he didn't say anything about it, and he says he didn't become haughty about anything, right? And he asked Hakodesh Baruch Hu, he said because of that, the combination, here it says always anava is a combination of being humble and being sanua. And that's what David HaMelech had. He was sanua, and he was also he was humble. So he says, like Shimi ben Gera, in continuation of it, when he came to, he made a big, when he was running away from his son, right? This is like another episode, that he was running away from his son Absalom, because Absalom wanted to kill him, right? He was running away from the capital, from Yerushalayim, because he didn't want to have a civil war in Israel, because he knew if he was going to go fight with his son, there's going to be a civil war. So he backed off. He just walked away. At the time he started mourning, he walked away barefoot. He was put ashes on his head, and he was crying and walking away, and he was extremely troubled that his own son, is coming to kill him and fighting against him. And that mood, this rabbi was one of the Gedolei Hador at the time. His name was Shimi ben Gera. He came and started throwing at him papers and started cursing him. And he was able to overcome his desire, the Sahara. He could have killed him. It was the Mored Malchut. He didn't do it, and because of that, right, he got a very they call he got the Regal Revi'i of Mikvah. Whatever it is very high spiritual status that he received by him being overcoming his Sahara. And now he says something that interesting. He says, so this is what he says. ובשעה שהעליתי את אהרון בירושלים, שוב קיבלתי עצמי. He says, when the Aaron was coming, I was bringing Aaron, which was that had was a whole. They used to take Aaron to the war. They used to ask a lot of questions from Aaron. So when they brought it back to Yerushalayim, I didn't have no pride about it. I didn't have no gava. And I הכנעתי כבודי לפני אהרון. He says, the only reason I did it was I was trying to be a humble part of the Aaron. That's why I was dancing, right? And because that, my heel showed. His heel showed, because that's why Michal was complaining about it. כתינוק שאינו מתבייש לגלות לפני אמו. It's like a child that doesn't feel embarrassed when his body is revealed. He's naked in front of his mom. That's what how David HaMelech was feeling when he was dancing in front of Aaron. So he says that's why he didn't. That's why it was not part. It was not any part of the problem with the sinua, because he was doing it only for Hakodesh Baruch Hu. And even though a sinua part was shown, but he was not doing it because of that. He was trying to humble himself and respect Aaron, and because of that, it gives an analogy, like a little child, a baby that doesn't feel embarrassed. Man, you never see a baby get embarrassed if he's naked in front of his mom. That's the same concept. So you see, even though it happened there, and Michal didn't understand that. They realized what's going on. That's why she was saying, what are you doing? But the whole concept was he was doing it for Hakodesh Baruch Hu. And when you do for Hakodesh Baruch Hu, and it shows up unintentionally, Hakodesh Baruch Hu doesn't worry about it. The person doesn't worry about it. But going, like, somebody goes to Mikvah and walking around, I put both Brishut Harav, I asked Rabbi if it's okay for me to take the copy of this statement about the other laws, the halachot about the mikveh, and put it by the mikveh. He said yes, do it. And the Hashem, we read this before, but I thought it's good to chazer it because it's very important. It's very important to do it. And now the other thing he says talking about Yaakov Avinu. One other thing that signal for men is not looking at women. It's very important not to look at women unless your own wife. There are different degrees. Havatani is Baruch Hashem. And we say he has like a radar. Havatani Shita, he has like a radar that when he walks around, when he has his head down, he realizes where the priesthood and automatically walks away from it.
Oh wow!
I mean, we just saw it. I don't know if you realize this past when we come to your home.
Yes.
I realized there's like I saw a lady was walking, was standing on Sunnah. I moved away, but I saw it. I realized I saw her Batani. He didn't raise his eyes up. He was walking like this. And now some people like that way.
Yes.
So when a person becomes very, very, very controlled with the Sahara and not looking at women completely for with no exception, he gets like some kind of radar for priesthood. So we saw it. He just this was the first time. He just
right by the shul.
Yeah, by the Chabad shul. He after time he went the other side, right? Wow. He's not like if there are cars coming around him, he don't worry about it. When there are cars like we walk in the street between, right? There's car behind us, he's not worried about it. But when there's like a woman, you see him out he just reach, you go to the other direction. Right here, like he has like a special radar for this. So but that's what he did. Because why? Because he has a Shiva name. He has obtained. He worked on himself in such a way that because he has a Shiva name in such a very high madriga, Hakodesh Baruch Hu helps him. That he sees it. He sees all of things that many people with the girl naked eye cannot see. Some people have to place their eye to see if there's simplicity or not. But he sees it without even looking at it. So here he says about Yosef Tzaddik. He says one of the reasons that this Tzaddik was able to become a leader of the high leader in the like almost a king. The Pharaoh says you're like a king. I'm just the only thing you don't have the title of a king, but he was running the whole country. And they say he put a special necklace around his neck, and they say why this necklace came to him. Right, they had a very important one, and he called him Paro called him Abrech. Right, he said what was the concept? He said because Shepitofah was one of the few women that they said was extremely pretty, and he always put his head down, but he was looking. He was not looking at her at all, and because of that, because he put his head down and he put his neck down. They gave the pharaoh Midah can get Midah gave him this necklace, whatever it is, which was very important. That was it's not a necklace. What do we call it? It's something he had around his neck, and that indicated his status of a big leader. Okay, and also we talked about Yaakov Avinu. That Yaakov Avinu was extremely. He says people are worried about being about Ein Hara. Many people are very worried about it, right? Again, he says one of the things that would stop a person from being harmed by Ein Hara, right, is being Senua, and part of Senua, according to the for men, is like a few components in it. One of the components is be humble. One is having proper clothing, and the third one is not looking at women. And this component would cause the person be protected from any kind of hara. It says here. We said the Yom Yaakov Aviv Levanab Lama Tisra'u Omnu Chaza Amar Lahem Yaakov Levanab. He said, don't show yourself that you're full, you're satiated, that you're not hungry. Even though they had food, and Bnei Ishmael, among the Bnei Esau, Bnei Ishmael, Bnei Keturah, they might become jealous of you, right? And they gave Ein Hara. So, but he said, they went out, but he said the main protection, right, was ki hasenu'ahi hamidah beginning to Mesilah Ma'inara, right? So the senua is the one that is going to protect. And I think, and talks also about Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu said one of the reasons he was protected from everything. Again, he was senua, and talks about Avraham Avinu that he didn't even look at his own wife. I don't know if we can get to that later, but he was the one that one time he was by a chance, he was trying to wash himself on the river, and he saw a reflection of his own wife in the river, and he saw, wow, his wife is so pretty, and she was one of the most prettiest women in the world. And still he was controlling his desire, and he was very senua, and because of that, the whole world was in one side, Avraham Avinu was the other side. Right. Why? Because of he was a slave senua. And that's another part of it. And here, I think the stories here, I think, is just to give the example of what is it, and it gives indication how important it is to be senua. And here, I'm just gonna say some of the important parts of the mikveh. I think it's a hemshech. Yeah. So this is the hemshech. This is the continuation of this whole thing. That a person should, when he goes to mikveh, right? He should be very extremely careful not to be very senua. So there are few aspects of it in mikveh. A person should be careful. One is about talking for nothing. There's but the main thing that we are going to focus about is a person when he goes the perek vav of the about the mikveh, right? That when a person goes to mikveh, there's some ashara, some warning about machshavot dibur maaseh, about talking, thinking, and talking and the maaseh, and it's the one of the things he says is you can, if you're in the mikveh, inside of the mikveh, you can think about Torah. If you're inside of it, right? Outside you're not. And then there's another thing that it says here that is very chashuv. בעניין הסתכלות כתוב בספרים שאסור להסתכל באנשים הרמים. It's asur for a man to look at naked men. Now, I thought always that means just not the private part, but according to what it says here is when they are getting undressed, don't look at all. Don't look at a person who is not undressed. When they are in the mikveh, שזה חד מפגמי היסוד. It gives a pigment היסוד. So it's very important. Person goes in, just realize like Baba Sali, we know from Baba Sali when he wanted to get undressed, he would always get undressed right before he gets in. You know, that's the best thing. I mean, if the mikveh like is not busy, people are not waiting in line, it's more appropriate the person goes undressed right before he gets into the mikveh. That's the most, if he doesn't, if he took a shower already, right? Someone else that wants to go in, the best appropriate part is just go there, because that's the best part. That's extreme sinner. I'm sure that you're just doing it for Kedusha Taharat, and if a person gets out of Kedusha that day. And this mikveh is very important. If a person could go mikveh, this book it gives a lot of details about it, which I'm not studying other book. That tells you there's a difference between a cold mikveh versus a warm mikveh. When you go to cold mikveh, is much better, right? Because when you go to mikveh, Ma'im Karim, the pasuk says Ma'im Karim Tov the Nefesh Ayefa. I don't know. I'm not quoting it properly, but there's more into it. But it says the cold water is very good for the body that is tired. And I'm a person myself. Sometimes when I feel very tired, like it's a long, like if you, especially Shavuot or something, you want to stay up all night. I realize every time I go to mikveh, like I feel very tired. I go to cold mikveh, I come out, I feel like I got some energy, and it's coming from because there's a pasuk on that. That Ma'im Karim, the cold water is very good for the nefesh that is very tired. And so there are things that a person do in order to go there. Usually the Doshim Yichud could say that the whole purpose of I'm going there is I'm going to I'm going to purify myself. Then there's another aspect that they should know that sometimes in the Shai Gilgulim, there's a Shai Gilgulim written by the but Marchu that whatever my Arizal told him, he wrote it down. And he says that a person, usually a person, when he wants to get spirituality, there's like a step after a step. Madriga after madriga. You have to go, you can't jump up, okay? But there's certain times, it's called quantum leap. Like you can jump very high. And what's the quantum leap, right? Is that like in the time of the Pesach, like Rishon, they talk about the Kedusha that we get, the Madriga we have on the first, we just passed it. Spiritually, it was much higher. The Shimurim is much higher than any other night in Yom Kippur. And they say, why is that? They say because there's a certain concept of quantum leap. And this quantum leap means that in Shemayim, there was a elevation of the Sefirot. So I don't want to get involved in it, but there's an elevation of Sefirot at that night that went very high.
Which night?
There's Pesach, the first night. The first night there's a very high elevation.
Wow.
And they say, I was reading it just in the Somebody Gardner book that talks about it, about the episode. That what happened in the first night is like a quantum leap for Sefirot. And when you have a quantum leap for Sefirot, that way, you said usually whenever you want to have for Sefirot to go up, you have to go Shelav Achai Shelav, that you have to go one stage after another stage. But on the Leil Shimurim, the Pesach is not that day. It was like a quantum leap for the Sefirot. That's why that night is extremely important, more than any other night. Okay, the first night. And the same thing in the Sharik Gulim talks about this same concept for human beings. They say a person wants to go spiritually, you have to go on after you go to do something related to Torah here and here. You slowly build up, and then after gradually you finish one stage. They say like a person has like on his neshama there are 10 different isot of kedusha that are on his neshama. There is neshama usually is on the eye right there, and this every time a person does some kind of go through some process, it's like the bottom one gets like as if you want to say it graduates. Another better one comes up, which is holy one. And that's how it goes, and that's how it elevates. The person gets elevated. But there also it says that there's a concept of what a quantum leap. The same concept. It says what somebody does something, a big tzaddik deed, right? A big tzaddik deed that causes a person to have this quantum leap on the neshama. So like something that is very difficult to do, right? Like what we're doing right now. If you can do it, start from chassid and do it, right? It's something very difficult to do. You get some kind of ibur neshama of a tzaddik comes and stays on you, and this ibur neshama, right? It causes that you gain some kind of spirituality that you could never have achieved in the normal process in such a fast way. And one thing I realized if we're going to Mikvah, Kol Mikvah, this is what it is. Because Kol Mikvah, many people, they cannot take the Kol Mikvah. And somebody, if they say the special prayer, go in there and come out of it, of course, don't get sick, of course, please. Make sure that you don't get sick. You might get some kind of quantum leap. So I was just trying to say, try to apply this concept of quantum leap, that it could happen also if a person goes to Kol Mikvah. Okay? But prepare himself, don't get sick and go there. Not only it helps for him to wake up, but also he could get Aliyah Neshama. Like what I said, I mean, his Neshama, he could get a Ibur that his Neshama goes higher. That's what I mean. Okay? All right. And so you said also to look at the men that are Arumim, where also to look at especially Chat v'Shalom, it says if somebody looks at the private person part of the man, it's very dangerous for him. The private man part of the man. So it's very important. The person walking around and see the people walking around naked. It's very important. If you feel that you're being challenged. You're challenged in the nisayon. Put your eyes down. Put your eyes down and walk around without looking at it, because this part is called Chat v'Shalom. That he Chat v'Shalom, it might cause him to what to get Pegam Yesod.
Pegam Yesod?
Yeah, Pegam Yesod. Like we have there's something called, right now we are doing the Leil Shishi is the night of that is a tikkun for Yesod, right? Yesod is the most in all the 6 Sefirot or 7 Sefirot, the most important one is Yesod. Okay, we say that there are like a 6 Sefirot. We say Zayin Tachtonim. There is Zayin Tachtonim. There is Gimel Rishonim, Zayin Tachtonim. Gimel Rishonim is the first 3 Sefirot that are Keter Chokmah Bina, the top one. But usually we cannot, because we cannot reach them. There's something called Zayin Tachtonim. And Zayin Tachtonim, it has these 7 Sefirot, and these 7 Sefirot, right? The 7th one, which is Malchut, is included in them. Is already included, and they say, according to Zohar, it says is included in the Tiferet, the Malchut, right? So the Yesod is the highest one. Yesod is the highest one, and we want we don't make sure that it's not going to begin the sword. And if Chas somebody looks at the elbow of a man, he might Chas get that have this problem. So that's why a person, when he goes to Mikvah, he should be very extremely careful to put his eye down, because here it says Hakodesh the son, he says that he's going to lose the revach. So if he goes in to gain spirituality, he might lose the spirituality. So very important. This is very important. Many people don't know that. And one day person go to Mikvah, by doing all these things, he's going to be able to go understand Torah better. He can get more spiritual and so forth and so on. Okay, and I think that's the main thing that I want to talk about is basically this very important aspect. The rest, I think, there's more he talks about it. He talks about more in detail in here, but I think the most important part of it that we learn from here is this aspect of all that a person that goes into mikveh should know that he goes in not for chit-chatting, not socializing. He's going in to become tahor and come out. And also has to have the somebody to ask. Talking with people, you have to know how to talk to them. But preferably, if you can tell them, if you have questions, let's talk outside better. So that way you don't talk in there. So the halachot about it depends. If there's like people are naked, you cannot talk. But as far as I know, but I have to check it off. As long as you have clothing on and there's no shower is not on, you can talk about halachot. But once the people they get on the rest, there shouldn't be no talking about the halachah in there or the Torah. Or if the people are taking shower, there's a problem with that. Shouldn't talk about it. Should go out, and that's what it should do. And I hope that we be our zoche to become senua. It's very important. All of us have to work on it, and by Hashem, that would help us out to gain a spirituality and serve Hakodesh in the right way. Amen.
Amen.